When you are driven by an unconditional desire to shape tomorrow, when you know that the time is right, that is when true pioneers embrace their opportunity. We are writing a whole new book to shape a new era.
For us, the future has a name.
Creating something that has never been done before.
The Neue Klasse.
But a project like this pushes everyone to their limits. It involves risks, requires courage and perseverance. Sometimes the goal seemed out of reach. But we believed in our vision, and bit by bit, everything came into place. With people who have the abilities, the passion, and the power to make their ideas reality. It's time to unleash the full potential of the Neue Klasse. And here we are. But it's just the beginning, the start of a new era.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The first of a new era, the future of the car. I've been with the BMW Group for more than 34 years now. And during this time, I've witnessed many world premieres, exciting new concepts, and really bold technological innovations. But for me and for all of us at the BMW Group, today's premiere is truly a once-in-a-lifetime moment. When else do you get to reimagine a brand like BMW from the ground up? The chance to create an entirely new generation of vehicles. The chance to break completely new ground. This year's IAA Mobility brings us full circle. You will remember that right here in Munich back in 2021, I promised we would lead BMW into a new era with the Neue Klasse. And now today, just 4 years later, we deliver on that very promise. And here's the proof. The Neue Klasse is much more than just one new car. It represents a completely new model generation, a massive leap that will shape the entire brand for years to come. Why now? Why such a bold step? Because we know the time is right now. Groundbreaking innovations don't come out of nowhere. They start with many individual technological advances, with people who recognize the untapped potential. And of course, with a visionary team that transforms those individual parts into something totally new, something far greater than the sum of its parts. And that's where we were at the start of the decade. We saw the chance for a massive leap in development across all relevant technologies, from battery technology to digital user experience, all the way to computing power. A unique opportunity to completely reimagine and rethink the car. It was a time for pioneers. And in other words, the perfect BMW moment. We've poured our vast experience, our wealth of technical know-how, and above all, our heart and soul into developing the Neue Klasse. And believe me, it was not easy. But together we made it happen. And that is what the iX3 represents. We've taken the world with us on our road to Neue Klasse. 5 vision vehicles, highlighting 5 key aspects of the Neue Klasse. At the beginning, we demonstrated how sustainability and circular economy could be realized in a premium product. Then, BMW iVision D blurred the lines between reality and the virtual world and offered a first glimpse of our new BMW panoramic iDrive. Then, at the IAA Mobility in 2023, things got much more concrete. A typically sporty BMW sedan with a new design, language of the Neue Klasse. And then this was soon followed by a look at the future of the sports activity vehicles. And as you can see, we were already close to the real thing at that point. Sheer driving pleasure, you know BMW, taken to a whole new level. The VDX demonstrated this. We think that was an impressive proof of the potential unlocked by integrating different technology into one car, into one platform, into the Neue Klasse. BMW driving dynamics at its finest. Ladies and gentlemen, our goal with the Neue Klasse was to create the best overall system for our customers. That's why the iX3 and the upcoming vehicles of the Neue Klasse integrate everything we've showcased in recent years. And when it comes to design, we've even skipped an entire generation. And now there is no one better to explain how our customers will experience this with all their senses than Adrian van Hooydonk. Adrian, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Oliver, and good morning. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the big moment has finally come. We are launching the BMW iX3, the very first car of the Neue Klasse. And as Oliver mentioned, we have been working on this for the past 4 years. And with the Neue Klasse, we are taking very big steps in technology. And these bigger steps in technology can only become meaningful hand in hand with big steps in design. The BMW iX3 has a much bigger range, helped by a very clean shape with excellent aerodynamics. In the interior, you will find a new display concept that allowed us to clean up the dashboard and completely redefine the driving experience. But let's look at the exterior design first. We have typical solid BMW SAV proportions with a lot of presence and emphasis on all 4 wheels. The surfaces are very clean with only a few precise lines. The front end shows a new interpretation of the BMW typical face, in which we replace chrome with light. Vertically oriented kidneys match the more upright overall appearance of our SAV. And this new light signature is part of the daytime running light, and it will make the new iX3 very recognizable by day and by night. Overall, the car has a very solid stance and strong shoulders, and in the rear, again, a new light signature that emphasizes the width of the car. Now, in the interior, you will find that the driving experience is and will remain our focus, putting the driver at ease and in control. The key element to this is our all-new BMW Panoramic Vision, which projects in the bottom of the windscreen and builds upon our years of experience with head-up displays. This new display is visible for all passengers on board and will allow you to quickly check the information you want and need while keeping your hands on the wheel and your focus on the road ahead. Together with our new free-cut central display and iconic steering wheel, these elements are the cornerstones of our new panoramic iDrive system, a whole new driving experience that you will find in all our future BMW models from now on. This new user experience already starts when you approach the car and continues as you get in and set the car up to your personal preferences. With My Modes, you can do that very easily and select a perfectly curated driving experience from screen content to colors to light and sound and even the driving characteristics. So, our new operating system X focuses on the best driving experience, but will also allow you a much higher level of personalization, making your new BMW truly yours. Overall, the new digital aspects of our cars will make them more intelligent and easier to use. At the same time, this has allowed us to design much cleaner and warmer interiors, creating very personal living environments on 4 wheels. The interior trim that you see here, digital white, is spacious and modern. But what about other options? Let's have a look. Ladies and gentlemen, we have curated various interior trims with a lot of attention to detail, giving each trim a unique and distinctive character. And these trims can be combined with a wide variety of exterior colors, giving our customers plenty of choice in a few easy steps. So starting with the BMW iX3, we are introducing a new form language that will lead to a new look and feel for the entire BMW brand. Our designs will be very clean and at the same time very strong in character. But above all, more BMW than ever before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adrian. From driving dynamics to drivetrain, from battery technology to the operating concept and digital user experience. Every one of these elements has been significantly enhanced for the Neue Klasse. And looking at the performance data for the iX3 gives you an idea of what our customers can look forward to. Of course, the iX3 is all electric. With more range and faster charging, that was our promise, and we have delivered. The iX3 offers a range of more than 800 kilometers in the WLTP cycle. Range anxiety, ladies and gentlemen, we're making sure it's a thing of the past. Also thanks to the ultra-fast charging capability, the peak charging power is up to 400 kilowatts. In other words, in just 10 minutes, the iX3 charges enough to drive more than 370 kilometers. At BMW, we are known for our driver orientation. Hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, with the right data just where you need it, and not more. With BMW Panoramic iDrive, the windscreen itself even becomes a projection surface, merging reality and the virtual world in perfect interplay. And here we are once again setting a new standard in the industry, and not just in the iX3. We're rolling out the BMW Panoramic iDrive across our entire product range. The iX3 also strikes perfect harmony between hardware on the one side and software on the other side. 4 central computers deliver the necessary computing power, processing data up to 20 times faster than conventional systems, genuine superbrains. BMW drivers will appreciate one of these systems, in particular, the Heart of Joy, which combines all functionalities for the drivetrain and driving dynamics. Over 100 years of expertise in driving dynamics, now enhanced by digital capabilities. And you will feel the difference right away. Whether you are pushing the limits or driving in everyday situations, this is sheer driving pleasure taking to a whole new level. And the experience also includes state-of-the-art automated assistance systems, tailored to our customer needs, dependable at all times without compromising safety. Driver and vehicle become one. We call this BMW Symbiotic Drive. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that without responsibility there can be no real progress. And that is why decarbonization and resource conservation are key in the development of the iX3 and the Neue Klasse. Throughout the entire life cycle, we also apply principles of design for circularity. The vehicle standing right behind me is made up of 1/3 secondary raw materials. 1/3 secondary raw materials. We are focusing on becoming more efficient and consuming less energy and resources, whether in the supply chain, in production, or finally on the road. The iX3 is a perfect example of our strategy of reducing CO2 wherever we have leverage. And we are transparent on our reliable path towards climate neutrality, in line with the Paris Agreement that has not changed, using all drivetrain technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, greater electric range, faster charging, a more immersive digital experience, the next level of sheer driving pleasure, and of course, a greater focus on sustainability. And all of this in an incredibly attractive package. The BMW iX3 is truly more BMW than ever. And this is just the beginning. We are rolling out the design, innovation, and the latest technologies across all our vehicles. All our models will benefit from the advances made in the Neue Klasse, regardless of the drivetrain. We have made a conscious decision to start out in the high-volume segments, because the Neue Klasse was never designed for a niche. We want all our customers to benefit from the innovations as quickly as possible. And the next vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, is already waiting in the wings. Well, dear friends of BMW, the details are still hidden beneath the camouflage, but I'm sure you will recognize the classic proportions of a typical BMW sporty sedan, more sporty than ever, the new BMW i3. It will be released next year as the series version, and of course, it's an all-electric version. And it will be the first model variant of the new 3 Series generation. And for the past 50 years and over 7 model generations, no other vehicle has been as closely tied to the success of the BMW brand. The 3 Series embodies everything at the very core and at the very heart of BMW. Innovation, digital user experience, comfort, sportiness, and together these characteristics create an incomparable driving experience. Sheer driving pleasure at its finest. After the launch of the i3, more variants will follow. We will keep you posted. The iX3 and the i3, a powerful symbol of the broad spectrum the Neue Klasse will cover. Production of the iX3 will begin later this year at our new plant in Debrecen. And from 2026, every new BMW will be all new. We will launch 40 different new and updated models by 2027. That is the future, a new era, and ladies and gentlemen, that is BMW.
A new era has begun. And the new BMW iX3 will lead the way. The Neue Klasse will be everywhere. And there is much more to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes an exceptional team to bring projects like the Neue Klasse and vehicles like this one to life. A team with unconditional desire, willpower, and the ability to shape the future. We, the Board of Management, stand before you today representing our nearly 160,000 BMW Group employees worldwide. And on behalf of us all, I would thank our incredible team for their dedication and the commitment over the last few years to reach this milestone. Together, we are leading BMW into a new era. Thank you very much.